What's up, Buffalo Fanatics? Josh Allen here. Just wanted to say, go Bills.
Yo, what's going on? Buffalo Fanatics in the house. What's happening, baby? Oh, it's so good to see you. So good to be with everybody. It is Thursday Night Live, baby. The Rated Rev Show. Your host, it's Rev on the Buffalo Fanatics Network. You know how it is. You know who we do it. You know how we do it and who it is. That's what I'm trying to say, baby. Smash that like, hit the subscribe button as you already pop up in here right now. What's going on, man? So glad to see everybody in here. Let me know where you're watching from. It's the roll call. This is how we do it, baby. I see everybody in here already going off, man. What's going on? So good to be here with you guys. I've got my man. Where's he at? David Abbott. There we go, baby. How you pronounce that, man? It's from Quebec. Shawinigan, Quebec, I think that's how you say it. I don't know, forgive me if I messed it up. But what's happening? Connor, Hinks, Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. I've got Adventures with Smiles in here from Winnipeg. Sanjay, Christopher, Maryland. I've got Brooklyn, New York in the house. Michael G. Williams. Jaden Torres, Texas. What's good? Chris 716, South Buffalo. Sweat, Indianapolis, Indiana. So good to see you guys. Look at this. Johnny Blaze from Dirty Jersey. Kim Betts, middle of nowhere in New York. What's up, Kim? What is happening to each and everybody who is joining us live right now? As I mentioned, smash that like, hit the subscribe button if you have not already done so. Welcome to Rated Rev. And to those who are watching the replay, what's up? It's your man Rev. And to everybody who likes to join in via podcast format, we don't discriminate. What's up to everybody as well? Man, look here. I'm excited. I am excited to be here with you guys again for another episode of Rated Rev. Look out to my man, Carlito Vasquez, Niagara Falls, New York. Cast, OP, New York. What's happening, baby? Trust the process, Bradford, Pennsylvania. Who else we got in here? My man, Chris Aileen, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. What is happening, baby? What's happening? Brian Freedom, what's up? Oh, I got somebody from Lawton, Oklahoma. What's up, Seth and Jen? Katovi, I think that's how you pronounce it. Forgive me, or Katavi, if I mispronounce your last name. Love and blessings from Lawton, Oklahoma. What's happening? Yo, I'm excited about today's show. As you guys know, I wasn't with y'all last week. I had some things to take care of, so I missed last week's show, which was good anyway, because I'm not going to lie, I was still in my feelings. I did not feel good anyway to do that show. Not like I was making an excuse, but, you know, for those who don't know, I have a food truck, and so we've had to change some of our hours and of operations and stuff like that. So we had to make some adjustments, which is why I wasn't on last week. But on top of that, yeah, I wasn't feeling good after that loss anyway. But yo, I'm back at it for tonight's show. Ready, locked and loaded. I've got a guest with me who's going to be joining here very shortly. I'm excited to bring him on as well. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Bills offseason. The Bills offseason has been underway for a couple of weeks now. But I think I've officially kind of like embraced it, and I've accepted it to a degree. It is what it is. I can't change it no how. So might as well try to keep it moving and go forward. And so, yeah, that's where we are. That's where we are. I'm not going backwards. I'm not going to talk about that game. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm tired of it. Okay. I already told you that I'm kind of still a little bit in my feelings about it. That I'm not even going to rehash that game. Tonight, it's all about moving forward. And we're going to move forward by talking about the offseason. And you know what? I'm not even going to jump into the Super Bowl. I don't even care about that. I don't know about you guys. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a salty guy. Maybe I'm just in my feelings. But I don't care about the Super Bowl. I really don't. I don't care about it. I don't care about who wins the game. I may turn it on just because it's something to watch. But I ain't going to be too much involved in that game, to be honest with you. Okay? And so my focus right now is Arizona's offseason and getting started for the next season. That's where I am. Kim Betts, I appreciate you. Missed you guys too. She says, missed you, Rev. That means a lot to me. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm focused on this off season, and I've got something in the works. So let me kind of tell you guys. Let me introduce kind of the show and my idea going forward with the show here the next several weeks. So as you can see on the thumbnail, all right. So tonight's show is about it's a Buffalo Bills offseason primer, free agency or the draft, O line and tight end. So essentially, what this is this: I am going to start off a series, kick off a series starting tonight. It's the Bills offseason primer series, and essentially what that is from now all the way up until um, free agency starts, which I think the legal tampering period starts March the 13th. So from there all the way up until then, each and every week on the show, we are going to have a Bills offseason primer where we're going to take a look into every positional group on the Buffalo Bills, dissect it to a degree, and figure out the weaknesses on this roster and within those position groups, and then identify whether or not that should be addressed via free agency or the draft. Okay. And so we're going to try to knock out a couple of position groups per week starting tonight, which should get us right up until the Thursday night show before that Monday. I think it's the Monday. Let me check my calendar here real quickly. I think it's the Monday before the legal tampering period begins. And then that following Thursday show will be the day after the first official day of free agency, where we're going to just talk about free agency, talk about what the Bills did or did not do. You guys know what the cap is looking like. So we'll see if the wizard himself, Big Baller Bean, can make some magic happen this free agency to make some moves to improve the team. But nevertheless, so that's kind of how we're going to outline the show. So tonight is the kickoff show, and we're going to kick things off by talking about the O-line and the tight end room. O-line and tight end position. What do you think about that position group right now? O-line is a big topic of conversation right now. And the tight end is a sneaky group as well. We're gonna talk about that, and I'm gonna talk about it with my guest. And so we're gonna talk about that and figure out what they should do. Should they address that situation or that position group via free agency or the draft? And I want to hear from you guys as well. So drop your comments in the chat. You know, this is an interactive show. This is how we do it. So drop those conversations and those opinions in the chat. And to those who are watching who are listening via podcast format, you can still interact with the show. Just go back on the replay, drop your comment in the chat as well. And I try to do my best to comment or to reply to everybody who comments on all of my shows. I love being interactive with you guys. All right. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Are you guys ready for that? I hope you're ready for it, because ready or not, here we go. I'm ready for it. I'm excited about it. But before we get into that, and before I bring on my guest, I want to talk about some breaking news around the Buffalo Bills. But hold on. Matter of fact, just put a pin in that real quickly. I want to say something else about these shows. What I'm going to try to do here in the offseason, we'll see how it goes, is I want to try to have a shortened version of Rated Rev. So my idea is to not go over an hour. 45 minutes, is ideal. Okay. We just want to hit it with some content, get in and get out. Okay. And then as we get closer and closer to the season, we'll of course extend it. But that's the goal. Okay. That's the goal. So hold me to it. 45 minutes to an hour tops tonight. All right. So now let's get into some breaking news around the Buffalo Bills. If you have not heard, the Buffalo Bills have made a new addition to the coaching staff. Sean McDermott has hired Al Holcomb to be the new defensive assistant for the Buffalo Bills. Now, if you're like me, you probably didn't have a clue as to who Al Holcomb was until recently, right? Until they decided to make the hire and they made it public and whatever. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I had no idea who he was. I think I've heard of the name before, but I didn't really know, specifics until like yesterday and to today. I've been kind of diving into it a little bit. So, yeah, he's a new defensive assistant. You say, well, Ray, if that's just a defensive assistant, like what, significance does that hold? Well, I'm glad you asked that question, because I think it says a lot. Well, maybe not a lot. Maybe it says a little bit about a couple of things here. And I'm gonna bounce this off of my guest here, and I'm gonna bring in here shortly as well. And it brings me to this. What does this addition say about Eric Washington? Eric Washington, is a D-line coach for the Bills, but he also holds or had held that dual title of senior defensive assistant / D-line coach. Well, now Al Holcomb comes in here, and he's the new senior defensive assistant. So what does that say about Eric Washington? Does Eric Washington get a demotion? Is he on his way out the door? Is he just demoted back to this D-line coach? Period. I don't know. What do you think? Drop your comments in the chat. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know your thoughts about that. And I'm going to go ahead and bring on my guest. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up when you're ready, my man. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Okay. So my guest, my man, Donnie Troutman. I don't know if you guys remember, but back during the draft last year, we had my man Donnie on. He's an avid Florida Gators fan. You know what I'm saying? And so he was giving us the scoop and the lowdown on the Gators. And matter of fact, he even called the first round draft pick of Kaiir Elam saying, he fits the Bills. This is who I think they're going with. And lo and behold, that is exactly who Brandon Beane decided to select in the first round of last year's draft. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my man on, Donnie, man. He's like I said, big time Bills fan and Florida Gators fan. Welcome to the show, my man, Donnie Troutman. What's up, Donnie? How you feeling, baby?
What's up, Rev? How you doing?
Man, I am good, man. Good to see you.
Yeah,
it's been too long, baby. Been too long.
It's been too long. It's been since the draft. I know.
It's been since the draft. And I tell you what, man, I'm gonna have you on during this series, man, as you're open to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as much as possible, man, because you're big on the Gators, man, and you also, you got your head in the college game probably a lot more so than I do. So I want to pick your head about a lot of the prospects coming up as well in the draft too, man. So I'm glad that you're here, man. How things been going?
Good, can't complain. Like you said, it's been a weird week in the 716. We obviously 2 weeks ago we took that awful loss. I was at the stadium, and that was probably one of the worst games I've ever attended. In a long time, I could say. And that place got quiet at the end of the hat. So it was tough. I couldn't even go on social media for about a week because it was that bad. So
while you were absent on social media, I was on there, emotional tweeting, dude. That's what I do. I get mad. I was so frustrated. The level of frustration I had is I can't remember how frustrated I was. I can't remember the last time I was about that. Like the last year, it was different, right? It was different. It was heartbreak. Oh, that close. That was tough to swallow. But this year, the way in which they lost it just left such a bad taste in my mouth. And it left me not necessarily heartbroken, but really disappointed and upset in the team and how they could go out there and just stink up a joint at home. You know what I'm saying? That. It was terrible.
A lot of questions. I mean, when you look at the season in general, they had a lot of hype. Josh started out really hot. I mean, obviously MVP candidate. Right. Bills were the number one team. Everybody's calling them Super Bowl content. That Green Bay game, they had the bye week. They go into Green Bay. It all went downhill from there. It did. But let's be honest. I mean, it was an emotional roller coaster for this team, and I think it all ran out in that Cincy game. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that game at Cincy, I mean, I think that night we get rolled. I really do.
Yeah. I agree with you on that one. I really thought that was the case too. I didn't mention it, but I talked about it behind the scenes with Rico. Matter of fact, on the preview show, I was like, I don't think this is going to be good. But anyway, man, you know what? I mean, the past is the past. It is what it is, right? I mean, things happened. The team didn't make it. They were this close. Yet again, they fall short of their goal, which is a Super Bowl. And that's the bar now. That's the standard, right? That's Correct. The standard now. The team has by virtue of how they've been playing over the past several years and what Sean McDermott has done, the standards have been raised, and along with the standards come the expectations. And so for me, I wouldn't say Super Bowl or bust, but I would say that the standard is that high. Like we need to hit this. We have to get there. And I'm not gonna lower the bar just because we missed it. I mean, we got to keep on trying for it and keep on hitting for it. And hopefully That's when I believe that's what the coaches are trying to do this off season, and I know that's what Brandon Beane is going to be trying to do. The team is going to be trying to improve this off season to get to their goal of reaching the Super Bowl. And so that's what brings us to the show tonight. And we're talking about the offseason and what the Buffalo Bills need to do going forward in the offseason to try to improve their team. And so what I want to do is I want to ask you some questions, but primarily, first of all, about the new coaching addition to the staff. Al Holcomb, new senior defensive assistant. People have said, "Oh God, here we go. Here's another Panthers, hire or whatever. This is Buffalo North, or Carolina North or whatever." Here, Sean McDermott just keeps on bringing these Carolina Panthers connections back to Buffalo. I mean, what were your initial thoughts, man, when you heard about the news?
Scapegoat. Honestly, I think ever since that last game, I think somebody needed to be fired, and they go ahead and fire the safeties coach, which is an absolute joke to me.
Yeah.
I think the fans would say the same thing. I'll be honest. I think it's time to move on from Frazier. I think he's a comfortable. You know what? He's not going to kill you, but let's be honest. They were not prepared at all. They had no scheme difference for Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They had how many different offensive linemen in that game? Burrow had all day to throw.
Yeah.
He had all day to do anything. The scheme I thought was absolutely awful. To me, it's a scapegoat. I don't think it really.
Are you talking about Salgado?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I don't.
Okay, yeah, Salgado, the safety coach. I'm talking about Al Holcomb, the new defensive assistant.
Well, that's what I mean. Bringing him on, I think, is kind of all. They're kind of. It's a scapegoat.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
so trying to deflect blame from Leslie Frazier, probably.
100%.
Yeah,
you haven't heard anything about Frazier at all.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we haven't heard more. But yeah, that's interesting though that he comes on as the senior. That is the interesting part about the defense.
Yeah, because Eric Washington held that title. As a senior defensive assistant / D-line coach. And so I wonder, like what does it say about Washington? Is he just getting demoted? I mean, could he be on his way out? I mean, I haven't been too impressed with the D-line's development. Under Eric Washington. I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you think Eric Washington deserves some blame, or do you think he just really doesn't have much talent outside of Von Miller?
I think you hit it right there. I mean, you have Von going to. I mean, Von takes away a lot. He takes up so many opportunities for other players, Russo and and Oliver, and all I'm seeing all week about this week is about Ed Oliver. Do we move him? That's everyone wants to trade him. So who's going to replace him? That's what I want to know.
Man, I have no idea.
Exactly.
I have no idea. But as a former top 10 pick, I mean, I expect way more than Ed Oliver. I expected him to be a dominant force in the interior of the defensive line, and he just has not been that. I mean, he's flashy, right? I mean, here and there, he may flash here and there, or he may streak, but he's just not that dominant force, especially when you look at some of the defensive linemen that were on the board available to them, when they decided to select Ed Oliver. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with him, and I need to see more, but it's just weird because, they picked up this 5th-year option, and so he's going into a contract season, which you can expect him to really put it on, right? Because he wants to make the bag, but it just hasn't been there consistently enough. And so I can see where some of the fans are saying, hey man, I would be willing to trade him. But so, I mean, I can go there. I mean, I can really get myself there. And maybe they can add another defensive lineman in the draft. I don't know. Maybe that's something that we can talk about here on a later show when we preview the defensive line. But I'm interested in just the coaching hires. I've heard that Salgado, the new safeties coach, and Eric Washington, Al Holcomb, they not only have familiarity, but they're I think their forte, from what I've heard, is in disguised coverage. Disguising coverage, and so that may give you an idea of what they intend to do going forward. I don't know if the scheme is going to change much, but disguising coverage lets me know that they have something in the works coverage wise, which I wonder if what that means. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I was gonna talk about a player, but he's not on the docket tonight. But when you look at him coverage wise, I mean, he makes a lot of sense for the Bills going forward. But anyway, nevertheless, I think it's interesting. I want to keep my eyes and ears out to what happens going forward with the rest of the coaching staff, whether or not we may see some additional additions and hires, or somebody who gets let go. So we'll see. We'll see. At the end of the day, man, I'm disappointed in Frazier's performance in the playoffs. Now he's a good regular season defensive coordinator, right? I mean, the stats and the numbers will say that. I mean, he has top defenses in the regular season, but to me that doesn't. I don't care about that.
No.
Like in the biggest games, like when you're in the playoffs, I need to see that defense in the playoffs. And I know the level of competition goes up as well, but I don't need the coaching to get in the way. And I felt like for the past several years, coaching has kind of gotten in the way in the playoffs. They've been out coached against some of the teams that they've lost to over the past several years. So we'll see what happens going forward. Hopefully they learn their lesson. They keep on talking about learning. I wonder when they're actually going to learn, finally learn. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But as we preview the Bills offseason and kind of take a look at some of these position groups tonight, I want to talk about the offensive line and the tight end group. Offensive line has been a topic of conversation for a lot of Bills fans here lately, because we know just how bad, I guess you could say bad, or just average to mediocre, I guess, the O-line has been this past season. And so let's dive into the O-line. Let's dive into the O-line. So the starting 5 O-line that we had last year, of course, from left to right, you've got Deion Dawkins, you got Roger Saffold, Mitch Morse, Ryan Bates, and then Spencer Brown. Okay. Then at the depth positions behind those guys, we have David Quessenberry, Bobby Hart, Greg Van Roten, Ike Bacher, and Tommy Doyle. All right. Now, when you look at that starting 5 right now, let's look at the tackle. Deion Dawkins. What do you see about Deion Dawkins, man? I mean, like, is there anything about what you saw from Deion this past season that encourages you, or anything that may like give you reason for pause? Like, we may need to address that position. Maybe not necessarily like replace him, but do you think it could be time to invest in the left tackle position?
Oh, see, that's a great question, because when you really look at this roster, I mean, obviously O-line needs to be addressed. Is it going to be addressed in free agency? We don't have the capital right now. So Bean is he is going to make his money this offseason, because he is going to have to do a lot of restructuring. Dawkins, listen, he's going to be the guy next year. There's no doubt. Could we improve?
Right, of course.
100%. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, everybody blames the O-line this past year. I blame Josh a little bit too. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, those guys, Josh goes all over the place, and that's what we all love about him. He's an athletic quarterback. He makes things happen, but he also holds on to the ball probably about 2 seconds longer than most quarterbacks in the NFL. So a lot of that is done by that. We don't have a run game. Let's be honest. The offensive line was built for that zone type passing attack that we had. And you know what? Bills fans always wanted that. We didn't pass enough. We didn't pass enough. We ran too much. Now we're throwing too much, and now we're not running enough. So it's you got to get that happy medium.
Right.
But for me, Dawkins is going to be the guy next year. I mean, he signed that big, 6-year deal anyway. So he's going to be there. I don't think that's our biggest need for sure.
Yeah. So let's go down the line then. So Deion Dawkins, obviously we know he's safe. I'm comfortable with him going forward. Left guard, Roger Saffold.
Big question.
Roger Saffold, he's a big question mark. He's a free agent, right? Pending free agent right now. And so when you look at Saffold this year, and I know this is going to be weird because he quote unquote made the Pro Bowl. Right. I mean, whatever that's worth nowadays, right? I don't know. I think personally, I think the Pro Bowl is a joke right now. I think it's
a joke.
I think it's a complete joke. It's name recognition. It's all that kind of stuff, and it's whatever. Well, because when you look at what Saffold put on the field this year, it wasn't appealing, and to me, it wasn't Pro Bowl worthy. But I mean, he's got that to his resume, which it could make him a little bit of money, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to contract negotiations by having that Pro Bowl there. But I just was not overly impressed with him this year. I'm trying to remember what PFF graded him at, but it was bad. It wasn't good.
Pretty low.
Pretty low. Yeah, very low. And here's the thing, like when they brought Roger in this offseason, I was on board. I thought it was going to be a good addition because for me, I'm looking at Aaron Cromer. I looked at when they added Aaron Cromer. I remember, what he did when he was in Buffalo the last time, and what he's done in his career as far as O lines are concerned. And every O line he's coached, they've had top running games, and they've been he's been kind of known for that. And so I'm like, okay, maybe, just maybe, what they're going to do is they're going to develop more of a running game, more of a running identity, not necessarily be ground and pound, but they're going to establish the line of scrimmage more this year than they had in the years past. And so you got Aaron Cromer. He brings in Roger Saffold, who played under Aaron Cromer. And so I'm like, Saffold may be a pretty good addition in the run game, right? In the run game, because I think his whole forte, it was been that he's been a good run blocker in his career, but not necessarily a good pass blocker, right? And so I'm like, all right, they're bringing him in, this run guy, this run blocking offensive guard. Makes sense. They're going to run the ball more. Sean McDermott even said last offseason that that their identity, they're going to try to do some things differently. They want to have more balance and run the ball more. And so I'm like, okay, this team is going to be more balanced, have more of a running identity. Makes sense. But over the course of the year, it just did not work out. They ran the ball, but it just kind of seemed like they didn't know what to do with the run game. And then for a team like the Bills who pass as much as they do, looking in hindsight, that addition didn't really make sense because pass protection is not Saffold's strong suit. You know what I'm saying? So, and then now you look at his age, what is it, like 34 going on 35, I think, as a free agent. What do you think the Bills need to do at the left guard position? Because now there's a hole there. The depth behind them is bare. The cupboard is bare, right? You've got Ike Bacher and you've got, that's barely about it, Van Rotten and stuff like that. So what do you think the Bills need to do to address that position? Or let me ask this question. What do you think is the weak link on the offensive line?
Guard for sure.
Guard for sure.
I would say guard for sure. And then I would probably, with a close 1A, 1B, I would say right tackle. So that's but guard's got to be done. I mean, I think if you look at what we have signed for next year, it's just not enough right now. So we're going to have to, and I don't see it being the first day, second day, first week of free agency, but I think it's going to be one of those tier 2, tier 3 guards to bring in that can compete for that starting position. Or maybe they do bring back Saffold. He did say right away that he wanted to come back.
I bet he did.
But yeah, of course, because he didn't have a good year. I wasn't big on the signing when it happened because you hit it right on the nail. 46 was the grade I saw somebody just write on Saffold. Tennessee was a power running team. He was there. He had Derrick Henry. They're running north-south. They're running north, north-south the whole time. Our team is not like that. It's more the zone. He's going to, on the shotgun, they're doing more of the RPOs. That's not his game. That's not his game. So it didn't make sense for that. I will tell you, though, since I am a Gator fan, I would love to sign.
Now, hold on. Oh, no, wait, hold on. Yeah. Don't get ahead. Don't get ahead of the game yet. We'll touch on those prospects here in a second. I already know where you're going with that. Some people in the chat have already mentioned it. But when you talk about the O-line scheme or the running scheme, I get it. I'm with you, man. But I thought that when they brought in Cromer, I thought they were going to have a different run scheme. That's the thing. Why? They've and I remember even hearing Mitch Morse say recently, like he said that over the years that he's been there, they have had like almost a different run blocking scheme every year. They've done the zone, they've done the pin and pull, the wide zone, the zone read stuff. But I'm like that's not bad. That's not good. That's not a good thing. Like they need to have some sort of identity across the O-line, especially in the run game. What do they want to be? And who do they want to be? And it seems like when you look at the O-line, it seems like they have just a mixture of guys that don't really make sense, or they're more athletic, but they try to be power team, but they and they don't run a scheme that fits their skill set. Because when you look across the line, you got Deion Dawkins, who's very athletic, but Saffold is not an athletic guy. He's more of a power guy. You go across, you can look at the center. Mitch Morse, extremely athletic, probably one of the most athletic centers in the league right now. Get him in space, he's lethal, right? You get Bates, right guard, he's athletic too in space. And then Spencer Brown, as terrible as he was in pass protection, you get the guy in space, he can move. I mean, he had a perfect RAS score coming out, right? I mean, the guy is extremely athletic, but it just didn't seem like the run scheme or the blocking scheme matched the skill set of the O-line. And so I'm curious. I'm like, man, what are they gonna do? Like, I think that's what they need to, before they figure out, okay, let me bring this player or that player. I think they need to solidify their identity up front, who they want to be, what kind of run scheme they want to have first and foremost, and then try to find players that fit that scheme, or you may just have to, if you have an idea in mind, you may have to look at the talent that you have and be like, okay, well, we can't run that. So let's make some switches and some changes. And so that's kind of my idea about it. I agree with you though. Going across the line, I think right tackle is a weakness. So when I look at the weaknesses on the O-line, I think guard, first of all, right? Left guard, specifically, Roger Saffold, free agents. There's nobody else really behind him. Then I look at right tackle, Spencer Brown, right? Young guy, but he's third? This is second year? Was this his third year?
So he's going into his third. So
going into his third year. Yeah. Going into his third year. And now you
year.
let Brent. Yeah, and you let Brandon Beane tell it. I mean, he makes kind of excuses for him. He especially in that end of the year presser, he's like, he was hurt this year, and and then his rookie year he came from, that small school, and so I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. Okay, just stop making excuses for the guy. The guy, I mean, I get it. There's a learning curve, but come on, man. Like it was bad. It was beyond bad this year. And maybe I'm underplaying it. Maybe his injury that he sustained in the offseason, I think it was a back injury.
It was.
Maybe it did have a much bigger effect on his game this year than I'm willing to give credit for. I don't know, but all I know is that it was terrible. Like Josh Allen, it seemed like he had next to zero time in the pocket, especially off the right side. When you look at where Josh was flushed, man, it came right off that right side or up the gut, on Roger Saffold. It was bad. And I feel bad for Josh, because I'm like, man, if he had more time, especially at the right tackle position, maybe certain things would have gone differently. I'm not willing to put all the blame. I'm not putting all the blame on Spencer Brown, but I am saying that he just was not a very good asset on the O-line, and we didn't have anybody else, that could come in and really compete. And I mean, because we saw what David Quessenberry looked like in spot duty. He was awful. Okay. And Tommy Doyle on IR, he was injured, so we didn't really have anybody. So we had to stick with Spencer Brown, and it was bad. And then we look at the center position, and we got Mitch Morse. I think we're good there. I love him, but you have to take into consideration his concussion history.
100%.
That to me is to me would be the driving force behind bringing on a center this offseason. In the event he sustains one more concussion and he decides to call it a career. I mean, that's all it takes is one more, and he says, you know what, I can't do it anymore. This is it. And we're left out hanging out to dry. So I think Brandon Beane needs to address those three positions at any particular order you call it. I mean, guard. I mean, you can just say interior O-line, right? Because I think when you look at Bates, you can flip him to left guard if you need to, right? But I just think the guard position needs to be addressed. Center needs to be addressed. And then right tackle. Now, let me ask you this question, Donnie.
Yeah.
Right tackle. Do you think, and before we address whether it's via free agency or the draft, do you think the Bills need to find a right tackle to replace Spencer Brown or to compete with him?
Compete. Spencer Brown's their guy.
Yeah.
They drafted him. Beane's going to stick behind him. Let's be honest. His rookie year, he should have never played as much as he did. Wasn't Chris Williams there?
No, Daryl Williams.
Yeah, it was Daryl Williams. I'm sorry,
Daryl Williams
was there, and he ended up taking that spot over Daryl Williams. And they moved Daryl inside.
Yeah.
So I don't think they expected him to start so fast. I agree with Amicus there. I do think he's going to have a bounce back year. He's going into his third year.
Yeah.
You learn a lot, and when you're playing real NFL games and you're starting, that is the key to everything. It's better than sitting on the bench and not having that experience.
You mean unlike Kaiir Elam?
Don't even get me started.
we'll say that for another show.
He was the number one quarterback on this team at the end of the year, and I don't think anybody will question that at all.
Bar none.
Because I don't think Trey's the same right now.
No, he's
Hopefully
not.
this offseason helps him, but Kyrie Elam should have been on the field the whole. I don't know why
he should have been on day one.
A couple times.
Day one, he should have been there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's a question I would love to ask Sean McDermott. Sure, Sean, explain to me why Kyrie Elam, your first round draft pick, set the bench the majority of the season. And don't tell me that it's don't tell me it's because you trusted Dane Jackson Morgan when he's hot garbage. Don't tell me that. You know. But anyway, we'll say that for the cornerback show.
That's another issue that I don't even want to get into.
Absolutely. So Spencer, like you're saying, Spencer Brown. So just have somebody. He's their guy. I agree with you.
Yeah.
They drafted. I like to draft these guys who have traits and they trust their coaching to develop these guys, and hopefully by year 2 or year 3, you know, you see a significant jump in them where they kind of got their legs under them and they're ready to rock and roll. Spencer Brown, he did get a lot of starting time for a 3rd round draft pick. So I'm encouraged. It just pass protection, man. I need to see more out of him. If for a team like the Bills who pass as much as they do, you need guys who can pass protect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm all for the athletic linemen who can move in space in the run game, but if you don't run the ball enough, like you just waste their talent, their skills. Bring somebody, give me somebody who can pass protect, you know, and hopefully Cromer is able to coach him up, you know, in that area, because man, it just seems like, oh God, like as soon as at the snap, he's getting beat immediately.
Yeah.
And Josh has to run around and find some time and scramble and all that kind of stuff. It's just not looking good. So we've identified those 3 key areas, right? Interior line, and then right tackle. Okay. And then you could probably, you know, well, let me ask you this question before we look at some of these free agents. What do you think about the depth at the O-line position?
The depth's terrible. We have no depth at all. Really
bad depth.
Yeah, we have bad depth. I mean, really, we have nothing right now.
Yep.
To step in. I mean, there's going to be signings. There's no doubt they have to add a couple. I saw somebody say that we need about 3 O-line guys. I wouldn't disagree with that. I wouldn't disagree.
Easily, in my opinion.
I think it will help the overall depth of the team. You know, and last year I wouldn't have said that. Last year I thought our offensive line depth was pretty good. Now I look at it as of today, I don't feel very, very comfortable with it at all.
It's been terrible. It's terrible. Like it's completely awful. Like David Questenberry, I don't want to see him at tackle at all. You know, at all. I mean, he was almost worse than. I mean, he's like right. You know, what was that game? Was it the Patriots game? And I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, I think it was the first Patriots game we played.
It was bad.
It was so bad. Now, granted, I think he was injured, had an ankle injury or something like that. But playing left tackle, I'm like, man, between he and Spencer Brown, I mean, I'm surprised Josh, you know, didn't get killed out there because it was so bad. But then you look at, you know, Bobby Hart, you know, which I'm just not a fan of, and it's like every time Bobby Hart got on the field, you already knew what they were going to do. They're going to try to run because they're starting 5 can't push the pocket for nothing, right? And then, you know, they try like to be power team and they're not a power team. And so you bring out Bobby Hart in this jumbo package, you know, like a faux tight end slash, you know, just an additional blocker. And it just, everybody in the defense knows what's up. And I just wasn't impressed. And then you got a guy like Greg Van Roten, who it's just, I mean, really, like you got him. And then Ike, who was injured, coming back, you know, dealing with that Achilles injury, but he's just not really somebody that you.
Ike was he was pretty solid though, and he did fill in when he when needed. So
yeah, for depth, yeah. For depth, yeah. But you know, I mean, and then you look at Tommy Doyle. I don't know, man. Maybe he's a guy that they're just gonna invest in and just try to hopefully he can develop. I don't know, but I mean, I'll give you 2 guys that are okay depth, and that's Tommy, and we'll see, and Ike.
Yeah,
everybody else easily replaceable to me. And so like, you know, you let one of those guys go down, and this, you know, we're in some serious trouble here.
Yeah.
So I think the O-line definitely needs to be addressed this year. Guard position, especially, you got Saffold as a free agent. You got mediocre depth. Spencer Brown needs competition. And he needs to develop. You got Mitch Morrison, his concussion injury. He's just one more concussion from potentially, you know, calling it a career. And so let's now take a look at these pending free agents. I think there's about. I want to look at the top 5. Okay, and granted, Brandon Beane and this cap situation is likely not going to be able to get anywhere close to any of these guys. He's going to be probably looking for bottom of the barrel guys. It's going to be tough. I think this offseason is going to be a lot tougher than it has in years past, trying to get under the cap and then trying to figure out what he's going to do. It's going to be hard for Brandon Beane, and I want to see what he's going to do. But do you have anybody on the offensive line, as far as free agents are concerned, that kind of pique your interest?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of guards out there right now that you look at, but the biggest thing I want to know and I want to see is where that money's going to come from to where we're going to be able to spend.
Yes,
that's the biggest key. So I haven't really dug into that because you see on social media, everybody's like, oh, let's go after this player. Let's go after this player.
Right.
I'm like, okay, how are you going to pay for him?
Right.
Honestly,
exactly.
So, Jason hit it right there. We are not spending on a top 5 O-line guy. Absolutely not. I see it being a second or third tier guy to come in to compete for that, starting spot or take that starting spot. Like we said, it's going to be one big position they need to fill. They need to fill a guard spot. So that is the number one priority. And then you can go from there and add depth, but there has to be depth added. Ben Powers is your number one guy out there for a guard.
Yeah.
He's going to get big money. He's going to get big money.
Huge money.
Yeah. And then you're looking at the Super Bowl, you got Isaac Samola from, Philly. He's a free agent. He's going to get paid big too. So, I mean, those are your two big names right now when you look at your interior guys. But I think we're going to be in that 15 to 20 range on the, on the rankings, so for guys. But, Cleveland's going to lose their guy too. Ethan Puck, he's their center, but you can't pay that much in the interior when you're already paying a guy that we let walk, Wyatt Teller, which that's another conversation for another day. But they're not going to be able to afford to pay him as well. So, those are your top 3 right now for your interior guys in free agency. But I don't think we're going to be even looking at those at all.
No, not at all. I mean, there's a guy from the Commanders, Wes Schweitzer, guard there. Spot Track has him $13.8 million average annual salary, market value 4 year, $55 million.
What about bringing Cody Ford back?
Oh no,
I know.
No, absolutely not.
I
absolutely not.
That. He's a free agent. I'm like,
he is a free agent. No, I don't even think he would want to come back. I mean, but maybe if he wants a job, he'll come back. But heck, no. I mean, he was bad, and proved to be bad even in Arizona. Evan Brown from Detroit, Dalton Reisner, another one from Denver, Nate Davis from Tennessee. Like there's some guys, but I just don't think that. I don't think the Bills will be in the market now. There is one guy who they might look into, Trey Turner. Let me see here. Remember Trey Turner? He played for the Panthers. I know, right? Carolina Panthers.
That's all right.
But hey, man, but he played when Sean McDermott was there. I'm trying to look at his contract right now, but I'm pretty sure he's a free agent this year, and he plays guard. Let me see here. I'm trying to pull him up here to see what they say about him, because I want to know his age. Let me see here. Oh no, I'm sorry. He played with the Commanders.
Yeah,
he played with the Commanders this past year. But yeah, he'll be 30-year-old free agent. Let me see here. Spot Track. I'm trying to check his market value. It's very $2.6 million.
We'll be able to, we're going to have to be in that range.
Yeah. 2 year, $5.3 million. That's his market value on Spot Track right now. And he has familiarity with Sean McDermott because he played in Carolina when McDermott was the D-line. I mean, the DC there. So that's the name that we could.
Buffalo Fanatics, what's going on? This is Pierre the Kingpin. And I wanted to talk to you today about Cigars International, which is the ultimate destination for premium homemade cigars. Known as the industry leader, Cigars International offers the largest selection, unbeatable prices, and a customer service experience that's second to none. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned vet, Cigars International makes enjoying cigars easy, approachable, and fun. Cigars International is the go-to retailer for all things cigars, with the biggest selection of premium homemade cigars available anywhere. Cigars International offers unbeatable deals and discounts, making it easy to stock up on your favorite or try something new without breaking the bank. With fast free shipping and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can shop with confidence knowing that Cigars International stands behind every order. They have good relationship with vendors that helps provide great low prices. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned pro, Cigars International makes it easy to find the right cigar with helpful guides, staff reviews, and expert advice. It's not just about cigars. Cigars International also offers a wide range of accessories and more to elevate your smoking experience. Check out the great deals every day at cigarsinternational.com. That's cigars, CIGARS, international.com. Use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply. Again, use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply.
I mean, because we all know about the whole Carolina to Buffalo connection and things like that. And then when it comes to penny pinching, which is what Brandon Beane is going to have to do in free agency this year, Trey Turner could be a guy that we think about here in free agency, because I think they might be able to swallow that type of a contract there for a 30-year-old guard. I mean, I would be more inclined to get him over probably bringing Saffold back at 34, 35.
Yeah, so I'm going to throw another guard out there too at Arizona. Yeah. Will Hernandez. I'm very familiar with him anyway.
Oh yeah,
I think he'd come around that $4 million range. He was he's actually an ex-Gator. He's very good at pass blocking as well too. That was one of his strengths. But I think he could come at a pretty fair amount, 4 to 5 range. I think we could budge that with everything going on. And there's going to be restructures. There has to be, because that's the only way they're going to be able to compete at a high level again. So I think we're going to be in that range. I think we could spend up to 4. I mean, they didn't want to pay Bates what he got, and they had to. They had no choice. They couldn't let him walk.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And looking at what he did for them, I mean, as soon as Bates, I mean, unfortunately, like we were talking about Ike Baca earlier, but when Baca got injured and Bates got in the line, it just looked completely different, Yeah. And so they had to cough up that coin. I'm glad they did though, because I really like Bates.
Yeah, so do I.
For the offense, he's a very consistent player. James comes in with the super chat. James, I appreciate that, man. He says, how about we trade Ed Oliver for an offensive lineman? Whatever they can do, man. Right? Because I think for me, like, O-line O-line has been, in my opinion, I don't know if I would say severely, but it almost up there, where they just have not invested enough and done enough to really solidify that position group, right? I mean, and I think that Brandon Beane would even agree, because I mean he's mentioned about the whole Wyatt Taylor situation, and he even said that at one point, I remember him saying that he regrets not giving Josh the O-line he needed when he first drafted him, and so which is why when you go back to, I think, what is it, the 2019 season or 2020 season, when he just revamped the whole O-line and brought in Mitch Morris and Quentin Spain and those guys like that, Darrell Williams. So he's trying. I think he's trying to play catch up, but it's just he just hasn't really hit on an offensive line, and especially for a team and a staff that harps on how the game is won and lost in the trenches. They have been losing in the trenches of late. You know what I'm saying? If it had not been for Josh's escapability and just the things that he can do, to make the offensive line look better than it even is at times, there's no telling, man. I mean, where they would really be. So I'm all for it. I mean, I don't, but like what can you really get from Ed Oliver? Like, what kind of trade compensation can you get for Ed Oliver, and who would you really target, and who? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a whole lot of questions when you bring that up. You know, I mean, it's easy to throw it out there, but I don't
I
know.
think James is on a good point though. I like that. I've been reading quite a bit about that. I've heard a lot of it on WGR. A lot of fans
Mhm.
have been talking about that. It's not a bad idea. I mean, you get one of the middle of the road. You're dumping a salary. You're not going to probably pay him the year after.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Oliver's a guy. He needs a one technique next to him to be able to succeed in a defense. He gets eaten
Mhm.
up by those guards and the centers, and the inside guys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 'cause
he
I mean,
doesn't have the beat
undersized.
to him. He
Yeah,
just
he
doesn't.
doesn't.
Look at Jones was out that game against Cincinnati. He got eaten alive. Our defensive line was awful when he wasn't
Terrible.
in.
Right.
So trading him to try to get a draft pick or an offensive lineman, not a bad
Yeah.
idea. Try to look for an interior guy. So and
Yeah.
then you're dumping a $10 million salary.
Right. But it's player
It's
for
not that
player
easy.
trades, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not that easy. And player for
No.
player trades are very rare. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's
nowadays,
not Madden.
no, no, it's not.
Yeah.
And then like who's gonna?
Yeah.
I don't know how many teams are gonna be willing to part with an offensive lineman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like those are premium positions. Like you find you a good offensive lineman, you keep him. For an undersized, underwhelming former first round draft pick in a defensive line like Ed Oliver. I don't know. Maybe they find genie in the bottle. Maybe they get lucky. But I definitely think that Brandon Beane, he needs to turn every leaf, man. He needs to do whatever he has to do. I mean, pull all the rabbits out of the hat that he has this offseason. But O-line needs to be addressed severely this offseason. And so now that we've kind of touched on free agents, we know they're not going to go against the top tier guys. And so we could look for some of those bottom tier guys, and we know that Brandon Beane's MO is really to try to fill as many needs as possible in free agency, and then so he's not, when he comes to the draft, he's not being desperate, right? And so he may try to fill a plug and play guy here and there. But let's talk about these draft prospects right now because that's what we need to focus on. And we'll run through these. And you tell me some of the guys that you have in mind here.
So Rev, I'm gonna stop you real quick. So we were talking about the free agents real quick. Is Buffalo's a destination now? So you might get some of those veteran offensive linemen that might come to want to play with Josh. I mean, people want to play with Josh Allen. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Buffalo is a big destination for people to play now. They love they know the fan base. They know how it is. Everybody talks about it. It's one of the most exciting places to play. Opposing fans, our home team, obviously. So it might be a place that we could bring those guys in, and not have to pay and overpay. Now, where, say, 10 years ago, we had to overpay everybody. We had to overpay Mario Williams. We had to lock him down just so he wouldn't leave the city, and gave him everything. So it's different times here in Buffalo now. So I think that we might be able to find somebody in that lower tier that might want to come at the end of their career and be a playoff team and a possible Super Bowl. So that's where I'm gonna leave it on the free agency.
Yeah, I agree, and we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. But now in free agency, not free agency, in the draft, here's some draft prospects that we can kind of look at or kind of have our ears plugged into. Going out here, I've got and you can tell me some of your guys too, Donnie. I already know one of them. Okay,
Yeah.
So we got Peter Skronsky, offensive tackle for Northwestern, 6'4", 315. Okay, Paris Johnson. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go in order of ranking that they have.
Yeah.
I think it's from Draft Buzz. I think they have this is just the O-line prospects. They got Peter Skronsky from Northwestern, Osiris Torrance, guard from Florida. Okay, 6'5", 337-pound behemoth man. Okay, Paris Johnson Jr., tackle from Ohio State, 6'6", 310. Broderick Jones, tackle from Georgia. And tell me when you guys kind of you sense the trend here. Okay, yeah. Broderick Jones from Georgia, tackle, 6'4", 310. Anton Harrison, tackle, Oklahoma, 6'5", 315. Dwan Jones, tackle, Ohio State, 6'8", 375. Kind of reminds me just looking at the size of Mekhi Becton, that kind of guy, that size. Yeah. Andrew Voorhees, guard, USC, 6'6", 325. And there's a couple of other guys kind of in between there. The trend that I've been seeing so far, when it comes to just like the O-line prospects, is a lot of tackles.
Yeah.
A lot of tackle prospects, but only maybe like a handful of top guard prospects that would probably go in the top 100 maybe or so.
Mhm.
The top guard prospect right now by a lot of people. You go ahead and tell me. Matter of fact,
Chomp, chomp,
I'm
chomp.
going to go ahead and let you do it, baby. Go ahead, Down. Tell me who it is, man.
So I've been telling people for weeks now
Yeah.
that at the 27 spot, I would love to see Osiris Torrance because
Yeah.
let's be honest, if anybody's done any research on him, so he only played 1 year in the SEC.
Mhm.
You know, he ended up he came with Billy Napier, the coach that came from Louisiana Tech. He
Mhm.
actually transferred over to the University of Florida. First year in the SEC, everybody's like, "Oh, he came from there, and you know he's not going to fit in the SEC." No, he absolutely dominated.
Dominated, yeah.
He didn't allow one sack in college.
Yep.
I don't think if anybody knew that, he never even allowed once in 47 starts a quarterback knockdown.
Mhm.
So tell me you don't want that guy as your interior lineman. So he dominated the Senior Bowl. I remember watching a lot of guys. They said, watch for Torrance, watch for Torrance. I don't think he's going to be a 27 now. He's moved up that much. I was hoping he was
Yeah.
going to be there.
Yeah.
Um, yes, that's my guy. I mean, I've watched every start this year. I followed him. Nasty guy, great attitude,
Mhm.
great team player. Yeah, so that's the guy that we just said. Yeah,
Well, they have a Florida, the Buffalo Pipeline
they
now
do.
open, with Kyrie Elam. So hopefully they've been doing no doubt they've been doing their
I'm sure they
homework
have.
on that guy. And I'm curious though, so like what type of scheme do you think he fits best? Because a guy
He,
that big, is his scheme versatile?
yeah, he is. He can move too. I mean, listen. They had a very very active quarterback in Florida too, Anthony Richardson,
Mm,
and
yeah.
so he was moving around quite a bit too. So Torrance moved quite a bit. I mean, he's an athletic kid. He can
Hmm.
move. I don't see there being a problem. But I'll be honest with you. So we're talking about guards.
Hmm.
I don't know where Skronsky is going to be from Northwestern. I don't know if he's
Hmm.
going to be a guard or a tackle.
Yeah.
Everything I'm hearing is he's going to move inside.
You move inside.
They
Okay.
don't think his arms are long enough, or
Hmm.
he doesn't have that long body that they look for in an offensive tackle. So
Hmm.
I think those two are going to be your guards in the first round. I think he'll end up
Okay.
being a guard.
Move around. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I
So,
like that. I
but
like
you're
that.
right
And
though, guard. And when you get into like I'd say late second to the
hmm
fifth round, you're going to find those interior guys that are going to be able to fill in for depth and possibly be starters. But those are your
yeah.
two studs right there for sure
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
guards.
Yeah. I agree, man. I've seen a little bit, and I haven't really gotten, you know, um, heavily involved in the draft yet, and so I'm not familiar with a lot of the guys. But Torrance is a name that's been out there, and it's going to be hard because those guys, that's a premium position, man. Like
Yeah.
offensive line, you get tackles and you get guards. Like those are premiums. They typically go fast and
Yeah.
early in the draft. Now, the only thing that I'm hoping for the Bills is that when I listed those top O line prospects, there's a lot of tackles on that list, and so hopefully the tackles go first and they push down some of those guards. But I don't know, man. The closer and closer we get to the draft, I don't know. Brandon, he may have to make a move.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This is the year we have to keep our picks. We can't move up. They
Yeah.
need to really hit this draft as a home run. I honestly, if say Torrance goes and the offensive line and the guards move,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna probably go another direction.
Let's
I
pivot.
mean,
Uh-huh.
you could argue with so many people. I have safety very high on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Some people think I was crazy, but if Poyer's gone, obviously we got Hamlin. Johnson's
Yeah.
going to be a free agent. You're left with Hyde.
That's it.
So who's your
Hyde
safety?
and Marlowe. Well, I think Marlowe is maybe a
Yeah,
free agent too. Yeah, I mean
yeah,
that's really it. Yeah.
that's it.
Yep.
So that is very high on my list. Maybe even, it's hard. I mean, it's going to be in their top three, but you got to add offensive line for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're right. The tackles are going to move. You want to see a lot of quarterbacks drafted. Let's hope.
You do.
Let's hope one sneaks in. We know the fourth
Oh yeah.
go in the first.
Yeah.
That's a given. The wide receivers are pretty deep in the first. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think one of those guys are going to land at 27 for us. But
Yeah.
grabbing a tackle, I mean, what if one of those tackles sit there at 27?
So
We
so
do.
who's your top tackle prospect that you would like?
You got to say Paris Johnson from Ohio
Okay.
State. He's their left tackle.
Hmm.
The kid, he's legit. He's ready to
But
go.
can he play right tackle?
Yeah, I wouldn't see why not. I mean,
Uh-huh.
his partner, Dewan Jones, he was your right tackle.
Hmm.
So that, but I wouldn't see there being a problem. I don't think he's going to be there, so we don't
Yeah.
have to,
You said Dewan played right tackle or Dewan
yeah,
played
Dewan,
left?
yeah,
He played right.
So yeah, he played right, yeah. Dewan, no,
Dewan.
Paris Johnson was their number one guy.
Uh-huh.
That's their top offensive tackle at
Yeah.
Ohio State. So he'll
So
be the
so
first one off the board. I see him off in the first probably 12 picks in the draft.
hmm okay. So now if Dewan Jones and Osiris Torrance were on the board,
Whew. Well, you go Torrance.
you
For
go
sure.
Torrance guard.
You
You,
go
you need
Torrance.
you need that guard. You
You know
need it.
what? He's a 10-year starter,
Yep.
future Pro Bowler. I mean, he's really that steady. I
Mhm.
see that. And that's our number one need on the offensive line. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
That's a
Absolutely.
plug and play from day one.
I think a guy like Torrance immediately changes the offensive line
100%.
immediately. It beefs them up, right? Gets them bigger, and they're able to do more things and gives Josh more time. And then who's to say that they won't double dip in the draft? Maybe later in the draft and bring in some more guys. Maybe
Yeah.
a tackle or a center prospect who I think they may need to take a look at too. There's a couple of guys I like. Luke Weipler, I think his name is.
Yep.
Him. What do you think about Jarrett Patterson?
Good. Yeah. Good prospect for sure. Yeah. I do
Yeah.
like him a lot. Yeah. It's,
Mhm.
there's so many offensive linemen.
There's a lot of them, huh?
Yeah, we could just go. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
I've done so many mocks, and the more and more I look at it, I want to add offensive line, and then I look at the second round, and I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? Because let's be honest, you have to go best player available. You can't just
Yeah.
you can't reach for a guy. Like I hear a lot of people saying, 27, you got to draft a receiver.
No.
Yes, we need a receiver,
Yeah.
but if 7 top guys go, you're not going to grab the 8th best receiver. It just doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
What if
Exactly.
the number one safety is available?
Right.
So it's so many things we can do, and there's a lot of depth when it comes to offensive line in the middle rounds,
Hmm.
and that's where we're really going to have to shine. And to be honest, I think they need to, if they're at 27 and say Torrance is gone and they don't have a guy there, I would not be opposed to them moving back.
Moving back.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
They need to accumulate
the
some picks
picks.
in the middle.
They need
Yeah,
the
and,
picks.
and that sweet spot in the draft. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree. Somebody says, Roy Collins says, is Torrance a left guard or right guard?
he could play either.
Either
He'll
one.
be fine. He'll be good. He played one at Louisiana Tech. He played the other at Florida. He'll be able to play either way.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, man. So that's good. So now the question is to you and the chat. When you look at the offensive line, we know the positions, right? I mean, we know the bigger positions of need, which are really the interior, the guard position.
Mhm.
Do you think the Bills should address that via free agency or the draft? Which one do you think would be the best decision?
Both.
But you got to pick one.
Let's be honest. We're gonna have to do it.
They're gonna. I agree. They're gonna have to do something in free agency.
They're gonna have to.
But what do you think? What do you think ends up being the better, I guess, long-term decision?
That's all gonna depend. I mean, we don't know how the draft's gonna come out. We just don't know how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
So you really you look at the draft as being that buffer where that's where you're adding to the spots that you couldn't get in free agency.
Mhm.
But they're gonna have to grab a guy in free agency. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Right now, we do not have a guard.
But if Torrance is there and they're able to get Torrance, it would be the draft.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah, hands down. Yeah.
hands down.
I tend to agree with you, man. I would lean towards the draft. I mean, they're gonna have to address it in free agency because they're not gonna go into the draft blind with this glaring hole and then feel desperate. They're not. That's just not how Brandon Beane does things. So they're gonna have to use both. But I do think that probably the ideal way in which they grow and they develop the line for the future is going to be via the draft. They have to hit on that. Okay, now we are, man. Look here. Forget my time. Okay, forget my time because I knew when we got to talking about the O-line, man, it just wasn't going to happen. Okay, it was good in theory, but squash all that. Okay, so let's move on. We got another position we want to talk about, and that's the tight end. That's the tight end position. Okay. In the tight end position, Adam says, yo, any Super Bowl predictions? You know what, Adam? I'm going to be honest with you, man. I could not care less. Okay. I don't care. I really don't care, and maybe that's just me being like I said earlier, a little salty. I hope the Eagles smash them because I don't like the Chiefs either. All right, but I'll defer to Donnie. Maybe he has more of a better attitude about the Super Bowl than I do.
I'll be honest with you. I really like Kansas City in the Super Bowl. You give Andy Reid 2 weeks to prepare. You give Patrick
Who do you
Mahomes
want to
2
win?
weeks.
Who do you want to win?
Who do I want? I really don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, I don't care.
I honestly, I could care less about Philly. KC obviously is an AFC team.
Mhm.
I just think KFC, KC is just the better team.
KFC is the better chicken place too, man.
Well, that is true too.
Yeah.
But no, KC's a better team. I think the experience of them being there already. But Hurst has played in big games. I mean, let's be honest. I mean,
Yeah, he
played
really
at
has.
Bama, went to Oklahoma. He's played in some really big games.
But that team is solid though, man.
They are
when I
solid.
watched the Eagles, I was like, I don't see another team that is as solid as the Eagles from top to bottom. I mean, maybe quarterback, but the scheme is just perfect for them. Like those guys are legit, man. I mean, I can't really find a weakness on that team, on any position. It's the Eagles, so
you look at the Eagles. Okay, so they gotta pass on the NFC Championship.
Oh well,
They
yeah.
got to play the fourth string
Brock Purdy going out. Yeah, that.
But it took them till the fourth quarter to bury the team.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, those Niners, man, are nothing to play with. That defense is nasty. That defense is nasty.
If Purdy was healthy,
they would have won.
That team, I think, is going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. That was my pick going in.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Niners were going to win. I didn't think they were going to wax them. I thought it was going to be a good close game. Defenses are very good on both teams, but the Niners defense is just so smothering, man. But once Purdy went out, it was a wrap.
Yeah,
it was done. Amicus says something. Amicus says something, man, interesting. And I'm not going to let him take me down this rabbit hole. But he was where did he go, Amicus? He was talking about O'Cyrus Torrence. Where'd it go, man? Where'd it go, Amicus? Let me see if I can find you. He said, he basically said, man, forget Osiris, forget Torrance because the Bills are going to be drafting Bijan Robinson.
I hope not.
You don't like Bijan?
No, I think he's a great.
You don't like
player,
round one running back?
We have our number one running back going into next year.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, James Cook's going to be.
You think Cook is going to be RB1?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Cook. I think he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And I don't think Robinson's going to be there at 27.
I don't think so either. You know, people are they're trying to mock him to us. It's like they've always been trying to mock up round one running back to us. I mean, now I'm not opposed to RB1 in round one. I was there last year with Breece Hall.
I know you were.
I mean, I loved me some Breece Hall, man, and we see what he did this year before he tore his ACL. But for me, this team just doesn't run the ball enough to really have that kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? So I think we'll be okay with James Cook and somebody else. Maybe they can get a late round guy. But anyway, we'll save the running backs for the running back show.
Yeah.
So let's look at the tight end position, man. So obviously we have Dawson Knox and then Quentin Morris, Tommy Sweeney. Okay, those are the tight ends that we have on the roster. Dawson Knox was the main guy this year, as he has been. But you know what was interesting when I looked at the position is, and I'm sure you remember this though, because it kind of gives me an idea as to what the Bills envisioned for the position going into the 2022 season last year.
Yes.
In free agency, they went out and got O.J. Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so you had rookie OC and Ken Dorsey, and then you brought in Aaron Cromer, and then you had Sean McDermott talking about protecting Josh Allen at the they're in the combine press conferences, he and Brandon Beane, and talking about revamping and rebranding themselves offensively and having more balance, and so it kind of gave you an idea. Okay, they're gonna be more of a running, or not necessarily a running team, but just running the ball more with more of an identity. Here they bring in Roger Saffold. Then they bring in a guy like O.J. Howard, okay, who we know, a big body, big, strong tight end, run blocking tight end who can actually catch the ball as well and provide that other option at the tight end position. So going in with two tight ends, right? We thought, okay, so they're going to be running maybe more 12 personnel, more of these two tight end looks offensively, right? Well, you know what happened in camp? OJ didn't cut it. Okay, he just was a shell of himself. He got cut, and the Bills just said, screw it, forget it. We're going into the season with Dawson Knox. Quentin Morris was flashing in camp, right? And that was basically it, right? And so I think that this year they had an idea for that position. I think they wanted to do so much more offensively with two tight end sets than they were able to do this year. I don't necessarily think that OJ Howard flaming out was enough to say, well, they just scrapped the plan. I think in the back of their mind, they still want to do it. They just have to find the right player in which to insert. So when we look going forward, we look at the tight end position. First of all, I mean, do you agree or disagree, Donnie, about them trying to add another tight end to the roster? Not just a depth guy behind
For
Dawson.
sure.
I'm talking about a legitimate tight end to play on the field, two tight end formations who can both run block and go out and catch passes along with Dawson.
No, I agree with you. I mean, that was, I think, the plan going into the season. Adding Howard, I was excited about it because
Me too.
I'm like, oh, Howard Knox out there.
Yeah.
Dual tight end sets, both can run, both are pass catching guys. I'm like, this is great. I was shocked when he was cut. I really was, because I'm like, I don't know if they gave up on him too soon or what. I don't know. But I also heard he didn't get the playbook.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing too.
Player. And let's be honest, if you're on a McDermott team and you're not a, Bean McDermott guy, if you're not, if you're not a BBB guy, you're gone.
Oh yeah, you're going quick. Yep.
So, and that's everything I've heard is he wasn't. So, it was disappointing to see, but you're right. I think that's what they wanted to do, and they scrapped that really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So, adding another, you look at all these teams now, you look at, they all have two tight ends out there now, right? It's basically a mix off of the wide receiver, because you get those mismatches, so I think that's what they wanted to do. I would love to see it added. I don't know where it's going to be added.
Well, let's talk about it now. Now let's get into it. So let's talk about the free agent tight ends that are coming available. There's some names that you all are probably familiar with. You've got Dalton Schultz, right, out of Dallas. Okay, Evan Ingram. Okay, he's a free agent. Austin Hooper, right? You got him. Robert Tonyan from Green Bay. Hayden Hurst, we know him well, right? More recently, Cincinnati tight end, right? And then you got a guy like Mike Gesicki in the division. Okay, free agent. Now, let me just look at these guys' market values, okay? Because let me start at because they're going to command some pretty big money. So Mike Gesicki right now, Spot Track, they have him $8.2 million. Okay. Average annual salary. Your $32.8 million contract. I think there's no way in the world.
No.
As much as Brandon Beane may want to add, I love Gesicki. I absolutely love him. I think he would be so perfect in this offense, alongside Dawson Knox. Wasn't there there was in the game that the Bills have, I don't know if it was the last Dolphins game, I don't know if it was the playoffs or the one before. There's a clip at the end of the game. Mike Gesicki goes up to Dawson Knox and they're talking, and the camera caught him, the audio caught him, and Gesicki mentioned to Dawson that he, something to the effect of, well, I'm glad that at least you're in a place where they're using you, and I'm like, man, oh man.
Gesicki's never been used correctly. And
never been used, dude.
No.
He's not your typical tight end, man.
Kevin could tell us, our Miami Dolphin fan.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I've always liked Gesicki, and I'd be like, why are they not utilizing him? Why is he never utilized? So.
Oh man, dude, I love him, man. And just thinking about what could happen if he played for us. I mean, he's still fairly young, right? 27 years old. But golly, man, in this offense, we wouldn't have to worry about wide receiver too. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because he would essentially be the another outlet for Josh. He wouldn't have to look for another wide receiver. I mean, it'd just be Diggs to Knox to Gesicki. He can roll with those three guys and be good. But we know, reality wise, that's probably not going to happen.
No,
right? He's gonna command.
These tight ends are getting paid.
Money.
These tight
they're
ends
going to get paid,
now. I mean, look at
Yeah.
Knox. Knox is making what, 12 million a year now? 12 plus, I think.
Yep.
So
Yep. Those guys, man. I mean, just the guys I mentioned, Gesicki. He's a lot of money. Dalton Schultz, Evan Ingram is a guy that but I mean, coming out of Jacksonville, but his market value right now is $9 million on Spot Rec. And so I'm like, dude, golly, man, it's crazy. This guy's gonna make a lot of money.
If I was Ingram, though, I would stay put where I'm at. I think that's a great situation for him with the young quarterback Trevor Lawrence. That kid has really.
I think Jacksonville is on the come up, man.
They are. I mean, they started out terrible, and I'll tell you, they got the right coach there. Lawrence has got his head on straight. They got a nice team. They got a good little defense. I think that's going to be a tough team for us down the road.
Here's another guy. Here's a guy. You had about O-line. You had brought up a guy in Cody Ford, right? Used to play with the Bills. I shot that down like, no, we don't want Cody Ford. But here's another guy that saw that's available. He's free agent this year. Tyler Kroft.
Wow.
I mean, he was okay when he was with us.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
I mean, he's 30 years old, right? But he's a free agent, man, and he's gonna be so cheap.
Yeah,
like, incredibly cheap right now. You can probably get this guy. I mean, you can get him for probably the vet minimum right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would not be opposed to
No.
bringing somebody like him back. Just to fill out the position, and then maybe double dipping in the draft. You know what I'm saying? But I like the idea of Kroft. Something Philip says. He says, no Tyler Kroft. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying, man. I mean, he wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. I don't know anybody else. I'm trying to look in free agency, man. Is there anybody that you think could be somebody that they would look? Jesse James. I remember him from when he played in Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But now he's in Cleveland. That was another guy I thought was decent. Max Williams. I remember him. I mean, these are the guys that are just like bottom tier as far as contract is concerned. Maybe they addressed it. Maybe they don't. I don't know, man. OJ Howard is still there. Maybe they decided to dip back in the well and bring him back. Hopefully, I don't know.
As much as I'd love to add to it, to the position, I think that's going to be on their back burner. I really do.
Oh yeah, I don't necessarily think it's a position of high need, but but you have to consider though. I mean, you only have Dawson Knox, Quentin Morris, and Tommy Sweeney.
Yeah.
If Dawson Knox were to sustain an injury where he was out for a significant amount of time, we are depleted. I mean, I don't know how much you would trust Quentin Morris to be there. I mean, he's okay, but I wouldn't trust him to be like my main guy, and certainly not Tommy Sweeney. So, I mean, we're just like one injury away from being in trouble at that position. So I definitely think it's something that they need to address. Maybe not necessarily, on high investment, whether it's free agency or the draft, but they do need to address it. There are some guys, man, that I'm very interested in though in the draft. I was looking at some of these guys. Man, these guys, some of these dudes, man, look very good, man. Like, do you have anybody? I mean, I'll defer to you. I'll let you give me your list, or give me a few guys that pique your interest. That are coming out.
You know what? There's a lot of guys in that second to third round area. Most people would look at like Darnell Washington from Georgia. He's that massive 6'7" tight end but he was he was their second tight end there. I mean, Georgia was loaded this year, and Brock Bowers was their number one guy, who's basically a receiver but tight end. Washington would be a great guy to add. I mean, what a target.
Dude, he's huge, man.
Enormous.
6'7", like 6'7", 270. The dude is humongous, man. I was watching some tape of him today. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is big, man.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't get to see him in the national title game either, because he got injured in the first quarter, so we didn't really see a whole lot. Obviously, that national championship game wasn't really anything. That was over before it started. So, when you look at the tight ends, though, there's really one guy that's elite, Michael Mayer. I'm sure
Michael Mayer, man, is fantastic.
You want to find a guy that's open all the time.
Oh, dude, has some sweet
Notre
feet,
Dame
man.
people on here probably tell you.
Yeah.
I just watch highlights of the kid, and he knows how to find the middle of the field. He's wide open. You know
Yeah.
what? He reminds me of Kelsey. Kelsey's always open,
Mm,
always open.
mm.
Totally different, body theme, but I look at his route running in that. It's just absolutely elite.
Yeah, Michael Mayer. I was watching some of them too, man. And there's just the dude's feet, dude, like the way he gets off the line and moves. It's just it's ridiculous, dude. Like I really
Mhm.
haven't seen it in a while. And he's man, I'm trying to pull up a clip of him because I want to share my screen so guys can kind of take a look at it just a little bit here. But he is definitely the top dog for a reason.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, here let me pull it up here. I want to share it. Let me see here. But like you mentioned, him, Darnell Washington, Luke Musgrave from Oregon State is
Yep.
another pretty good one. Dalton Kincaid,
From Utah, that kid,
yeah,
he
yep,
is
yep,
he's a solid tight end.
very solid, very solid. And so I'm interested, man, in some of those guys. I really would like to know what Brandon Bean thinks of these guys and whether or not because I see some people. As a matter of fact, hold on, I'll address this here shortly. But here's just a little bit of just watch this guy, man. This is Michael Mayer. The dude is look at that, man. He's so good. He is so good on the line of scrimmage. Very good routes. Let's check this route out right here. Very quick, right? There's another one here too, man. That shows him. I think it's in this clip. I love him, dude. We're watching here some highlights of Michael
look at
Mayer out of Notre Dame. The guy, he's wide open off the line of scrimmage,
Yeah.
wide open. Just
Well,
look at this route.
that left. Look at that
stick
left
and move.
foot. Yeah, that left foot.
That left foot, man. Yeah, stuck it in the ground. Yep. Just very very elite, man, for a tight end prospect. I love him. And then I mean, look at that. Look at the hands
Mhm.
going out there, outstretching, man, one-handed catch. Like he is elite. A guy draped all over him, and he still manages to catch the ball one-handed behind the guy's back.
That's why he's
I
a
love
first
him.
rounder. He's
Now-
going to be a first round lock.
Oh yeah, big time first round draft pick. But there are some tight ends, man, that the Bills they could potentially get. I'm not too sure how high on their list, but
Yeah.
I saw somebody in here. I think Amicus mentioned it. He said, yo, we need a wide receiver too, period. And I get it, but who's to say
understand.
that the wide receiver, or let's say the receiving option, the second option is not a tight end? Like who says it can't be another tight end? You know what I'm saying? Like I know you would want that traditional wide receiver two opposite of Stephon Diggs or maybe a guy in the slot like that. But I mean, you can build it in a way to where it's an elite tight end. You know what I'm saying? Like so you just never know. I mean, how many years did Brady, have Gronk as his number one receiving option?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't a wide receiver per se. So I think you can be very versatile and creative in how you add to the weaponry. But if you were to give me like a top dog tight end like a Michael Mayer or even a potential guy like Darnell Washington, or like maybe one of the, I don't know, 6 or 7 wide receivers ranked in the draft, I would probably go with a tight end, man, just because of the versatility that you can bring. And I think that we can insert maybe a slot guy. And just imagine for a second. Let's just kind of dream with me for a second. So let's say you get this will never happen. Okay, this will never happen. But you got Dawson Knox tight end, right? Let's say you get a Darnell Washington. You add him, okay, to the tight end room, and then you have Diggs, Shakir, Davis, and then you add another wide receiver at some point in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Maybe another slot guy, or you decide to bring Jamison Crowder back. Like that to me, because of the addition of the tight end, who's a receiving tight end. I think it rounds out the receiving weapon outside of, you know what I'm saying, outside of just being a wide receiver. If that makes sense.
Yep. Well, I get it.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know, but I'm interested, man, and just some of these guys that I was looking at in the draft. I really like them. Do you think that? I mean, do you think the Bills will address that position at all?
Oh, that's a great question. That's a good question. I really don't know if they're going to address that. I think there's just so many other like important needs on this team right now that I think that's going to get pushed to the side.
Sure. Yeah, I think it'll get pushed to the side as well. I don't think they're going to go into next year with the same three that they have right now.
No.
I don't think so. I mean, Jason says, Jason Suggs says, Dorsey showed no interest in using one tight end. Why would we go with two? Well, I get that, but because they signed a tight end in free agency last year in OJ Howard, so they evidently had a plan for two tight ends. It just didn't work out. So that's not to say that they're going to scrap that plan and not go with two tight ends again. So we'll see. I think they may add another one at some point, whether it's in free agency or the draft. I think they're going to add a guy. I wouldn't necessarily think they're going to get a guy high or a high investment guy, but I am of the belief that they will address that position here going forward. So, guys, Donnie, man, look here. Now we've been in here, man, an hour and 25 minutes, and so what we're going to do is we're going to end the show right here, okay? Because in the coming weeks, man, we've got a lot of positions that we want to talk about. We've got obviously the defensive line we're going to talk about. We've got the skill positions, the sexy positions, right? Running back, wide receivers. We got all those we're going to talk about. And so all the way up until free agency or the legal tampering period when free agency starts. I think it's like March the 13th, I think. We're going to be talking about that. And I'm going to have my man Donnie on here as well as some other guests coming through here periodically. So, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. Thanks so much, man, for joining us, for even being a part of the chat, man. So many guys here in the chat have been putting their input in. I appreciate that. To those who are watching the replay, shout out to you guys, and those who are listening via podcast format, I greatly appreciate you. So, man, Donnie, before we head on up, man, is there any parting words, man? Any last thoughts that you have that you want to share with anybody?
No, I appreciate you having me on. It was great to talk. It's great to talk to everybody out there, all the Bills fans. If you're not following me on Twitter, though, hashtag is up there.
Man.
Follow. I'm one of those guys with Buffalo Fanatics that are on the back end of it. I've been there for years, but go ahead and follow me. And I love talking college football, love talking Bills football. So thanks for having me on.
Anytime, Donnie. Anytime. And you guys make sure you give my man a follow, man. Great guy. Great follow. Love his perspective. Huge Gators fan. Hopefully there's another Gators pipeline. Hopefully we see another Gator or two coming out of this draft, man. Oh, man, imagine. Oh, dude, this is there any Gator, another Gator outside of O'Cyrus Torrence that you think the Bills would have an interest in?
Maybe the safety. They have a kid, Torrance and Dean would be two guys I would look at safety wise, probably later in the draft. I'll tell you the one Gator that I think could have a big career. I think he came out a little too early was Anthony Richardson. Reminds me a little bit of Josh Allen. I think he needed to stay one more year. And he came out, but he's going to be a top 15 pick no matter what. But watch that kid down the road because he's got all the tools in the world.
Sounds good, man. Well, guys, again, appreciate you so very much, man. Tune in next week, man. We're going to be here same time, same place. We got a lot we're going to talk about. Make sure you stay locked right here on Buffalo Fanatics. Do us this favor. Smash that like, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And look out for my man Rico tomorrow night. Rico Report live. He's going to be doing his thing like he always does. And then enjoy the festivities, man. I don't know what you guys are doing for Super Bowl. I don't know, Super Bowl party, or is there like a Super Bowl, like a meal, man, Donnie, a go-to Super Bowl? This is what we do every Super Bowl. Is it like a tradition that you guys go with?
We're doing some stuffed banana peppers. And you know what? I don't know the rest of the menu yet. I got to talk to the wife about that first.
Oh, nice, man. Yeah. I love banana peppers. Never had a stuffed one before. What do you stuff it with?
It's got a little gorgonzola, breadcrumb stuffing that goes inside. It's a big Buffalo thing here in Western New York. So we'll be rolling with those. Probably do some wings, but got to ask the big boss what we're going to have for the true meal. So
I'm probably going to go with the wings too, man. You can never go wrong. Maybe a little bit of smoked sausage. I don't know. I'm a meat guy. I'm a big carnivore, so I love all that. And I don't know, man. I'm just not feeling the Super Bowl, dude. I may take a look at it, but I'm not going to be vested in it. I guarantee that much. Not going to be guaranteed. Not going to be vested in it at all. All right, guys. We are out of here, man. Again, appreciate so very much for everybody who's been tuning in. Smash that like on your way out. Please, God bless. And go Bills. See you next time.